What unfolded in WWE last night is nothing short of historic, absolutely earth-shattering, and a complete rewriting of the rules we thought we understood when it comes to the Beast incarnate. Bronson Reed, the 330-pound Australian powerhouse, executed an act of revenge so meticulously planned, so brutally effective, that it has sent shockwaves through the entire WWE universe and left Brock Lesnar, the most dominant force in sports entertainment, reeling in a way we haven't seen in years. If you think you know what Lesnar is capable of, think again, because what Bronson Reed accomplished last night was more than a victory. It was a systematic dismantling of one of WWE's most untouchable legends, and it fundamentally altered the landscape of the roster. 2 weeks ago, we witnessed Brock Lesnar absolutely annihilate Bronson Reed in a match that many have described as one-sided, a complete massacre, leaving the wrestling world in disbelief as the Australian star was tossed around like he was nothing more than a training dummy, the kind of defeat that leaves a mark not just on a wrestler's body, but on their very psyche. But last night, Reed didn't just get even. He delivered a calculated, methodical, and psychologically devastating assault that redefined what we thought we knew about both men. The aftermath has been chaos. WWE officials are scrambling to respond, fans are erupting online, and Lesnar himself is facing a rare moment of vulnerability, forced to confront the fact that even the most feared competitor in WWE can be outmaneuvered if the circumstances and preparation are right. Before we get into the step-by-step breakdown of what went down, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen Brock Lesnar completely blindsided in a way that leaves the audience collectively gasping in disbelief? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because what occurred here is unlike anything most of us could have predicted, and it may go down as one of the most shocking sequences in WWE history. In those roughly 15 minutes of pure, unrelenting intensity, Bronson Reed did more than attack Brock Lesnar. He dismantled every aspect of what makes the Beast incarnate feared, respected, and considered untouchable. This was not a wrestling match in the traditional sense. This was not a sanctioned bout with bell-to-bell rules. This was premeditated chaos, dressed up as sports entertainment, executed with precision and intelligence, and it was absolutely stunning to witness. The setup for the ambush was flawless. It began during what appeared to be a normal backstage interview segment, with Kathy Kelly conducting routine interviews with several mid-card talents about their upcoming storylines, the kind of segment meant to fill time and provide minor updates. Then, the lights in the corridor began flickering. In WWE, flickering lights are almost always an ominous sign, a precursor to something monumental about to occur. But even seasoned fans had no idea what was coming. Brock Lesnar appeared, stomping down the hallway with his characteristic dominance, Paul Heyman trailing closely behind, phone in hand, likely coordinating his next guaranteed victory. Lesnar was in full intimidation mode, probably seeking to assert his presence over the roster, to remind everyone that he is, without question, the most dangerous man in WWE. Everything seemed routine, almost ordinary, as the world turned around him. But Bronson Reed had been studying Lesnar's movements, patterns, and timing for weeks. He knew precisely when Lesnar would be in this specific hallway. He knew Lesnar would be distracted by arrogance, and he knew this would be his one shot to catch the Beast off guard. Was this pure genius, or did Reed have inside knowledge? That remains a tantalizing question for wrestling sleuths everywhere, and I want to hear your thoughts. When Reed finally emerged from a seemingly empty storage room, he did not immediately attack. Instead, he planted himself firmly in the corridor, all 330 pounds of him, like an unmovable wall, exuding menace, fury, and controlled intensity. The look on Brock Lesnar's face at that moment was priceless: shock, disbelief, and surprise at someone having the audacity to confront him directly. Not fear, because Lesnar doesn't feel fear, but genuine amazement. Paul Heyman immediately began to retreat, survival instincts kicking in, while Reed's voice thundered through the corridor, a verbal prelude to the violence that was about to unfold. You think beating me 2 weeks ago was the end? Brock, you just wrote the first chapter of your own nightmare. The verbal exchange that followed was electrifying, a battle of wills before the physical confrontation even began. Lesnar, true to his dominant persona, immediately attempted to intimidate Reed, reminding him of his past victories, of his unparalleled accomplishments in both WWE and the UFC, a warning that Reed would not walk away unscathed. But Bronson Reed was a different man than the one who had been obliterated just 14 days earlier. His eyes burned with calculation, cold precision, and a patience that signaled this encounter had been rehearsed in his mind repeatedly. When Lesnar shoved him, Reed did not budge. When Lesnar attempted his signature takedown, Reed countered with the precision of a trained tactician, delivering a knee strike that would have taken down anyone else immediately. Lesnar staggered backward, more shocked than injured, likely struggling to comprehend how someone he had previously destroyed could now anticipate and neutralize one of his most reliable maneuvers. Was Reed's counter instinct, or had he been meticulously planning and practicing for this very scenario? That remains a burning question for fans and analysts alike. From there, the assault escalated into a sequence of near-unprecedented brutality. Reed unleashed a flurry of strikes that appeared less like staged wrestling and more like authentic combat, each punch, kick, and elbow delivered with precision and intent, designed to dismantle Lesnar physically and psychologically. And then came the steel chair, positioned almost perfectly nearby. Reed did not swing haphazardly. He struck with surgical accuracy, targeting ribs, back, and most critically Lesnar's left knee, signaling that this was not just revenge, it was strategic annihilation. Paul Heyman's screams amplified the chaos, but security was nowhere in sight, leaving Reed uninterrupted, free to execute his plan without interference. The strategy was brilliant. Each move was calculated to weaken Lesnar's base, reduce his mobility, and inflict lasting damage, and it was executed with an intelligence and patience rarely seen in WWE segments. Then, in a moment that will forever be etched in the minds of wrestling fans, Reed lifted Lesnar and executed his signature tsunami splash onto the concrete floor, a devastating 330-pound impact that left Lesnar motionless and in need of immediate medical attention. Standing over Lesnar, Reed delivered a chilling promo. 2 weeks ago, you showed the world you could break me. Tonight, I'm showing the world that even beasts can be hunted, monsters can bleed, and legends can fall. The medical visuals, showing Lesnar being loaded onto a stretcher, drove home the real stakes of the segment. This was a vulnerability that fans rarely see from the Beast incarnate. Social media erupted instantly. Wrestling legends, from Stone Cold Steve Austin to Mick Foley, weighed in, praising the meticulous intelligence and ferocity behind Reed's attack. The Rock himself offered respect, and John Cena perfectly